We're sure all of you must have heard the shocking news about the death of legendary American actress Anne Heche. On August 5th, she was involved in an incredibly fatal car crash which eventually took her life just 6 days later. While still on life support, Heche was pronounced legally dead as the hospital arranged to donate her organs. In today's video, we'll cover all the details surrounding this devastating news. First, how exactly did Anne Heche get herself into a car crash? Anne Heche was involved in not just one, but 2 car crashes on August 5th. She was driving in the Mar Vista neighborhood of Los Angeles in her blue Mini Cooper at a recorded speed of 90 miles per hour. First, she hit her car in the garage of a nearby apartment complex, and then her car crashed into a 2-story house. The second crash ended up causing a fire, and as a consequence, the actress suffered some very severe burns. But that wasn't the extent of her injuries. Because of the fire, her lungs suffered extreme damage as well. The entire sequence of events that occurred right before the crash happened were recorded through a doorbell video camera. Before Heche's car made the final crash into the house, her vehicle was seen speeding through the quiet Los Angeles neighborhood, and just a few moments later, there was the sound of her Mini Cooper crashing into the house and catching fire. And her car wasn't the only thing that caught fire. The house ended up in flames as well, and it took a total of 60 firefighters to extinguish the fire. It took them all more than an hour to get rid of the burning flames. And then, what substances were found in Heche's blood? Seeing how Heche was speeding and ended up in such a fatal car crash, a preliminary analysis of her blood was done to see if she was under the influence of any substances. Later on, the Los Angeles Police Department confirmed that Heche's blood tests came back positive for narcotics. Because the actress was behaving very erratically at the time of the crashes, it seems very likely that she had used some substances before she decided to drive through that particular neighborhood. We're not certain exactly what substances were found in her blood. The police department hasn't confirmed either. What's more, detailed reports of toxicology tests take weeks, so it could take some time before we find out which drugs were in Heche's system at the time of the accident. Officer Matthew Cruz admitted that they would definitely need additional testing to see if any medications administered at the hospital for the treatment of Heche's injuries show up in her blood. Well, what happened after the car crash? Right after, as is the protocol, paramedics and firefighters arrived at the scene. The house that Heche's car had crashed into suffered a lot of damage because of the fire. It was rendered completely uninhabitable after the crash. The homeowner suffered certain minor injuries, and her lawyer disclosed that she had almost lost her life. And what's even more devastating is that the entire property sustained extreme damage due to the fire, and it can't be recovered at all now. For Heche, things just got worse. After the crash, she was transferred to an ambulance and provided trauma services before the ambulance reached the hospital. Video evidence exists showing Heche was conscious before she was wheeled into the ambulance, but soon after, she lost consciousness. On August 9th, it was revealed by Heche's representative that she was in extremely critical condition. She had been put on a ventilator as her lungs were failing her. 2 days later, it was declared that Heche's chances of survival were incredibly poor. Her brain wasn't receiving enough oxygen due to lung failure, and as a result, the actress was put on life support. Just a few hours later, she was declared brain dead. Under California law, a brain dead patient is considered legally dead, so at this point in the timeline, the actress had already passed away. The death was ruled an accident based on the injuries she had sustained during the car crash. So, did Heche express a wish to have her organs donated? Heche wasn't immediately taken off life support because the hospital staff were working to see if her organs were viable for donation. The actress had expressed the wish to have her organs donated after her death, and of course, there are certain prerequisites that take time before the process can be conducted. Hospital staff checked if her organs were viable for donation, and after that, they tried to locate recipients who were in urgent need of any kind of organ donation. Once recipients were found and her organs were considered viable, she was taken off life support. When she was taken off life support in the evening of August 14th, the proper procedures for organ donation were carried out. As is customary in cases like this, a walk of honor was held by the hospital staff for Heche's organ donation. But isn't the manner of her death a little bit suspicious? We all know dedicated fans of celebrities never take the news of their idol's passing lightly. Same's the case with Anne Heche's tragic passing away. A lot of fans are speculating that this car crash was no accident, and that while the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner coroner had ruled the death an accident as well, Heche's death was definitely premeditated. The rumor mill says that Heche was working on a very big project right before her death. This new film of hers was centered around child sex trafficking and Hollywood's obsession of pedophilia. Seeing how brave Heche was, she was going to finish work on the movie no matter what obstacles came in her way. Some fans even went so far to say that Heche was forced into a body bag while she was still alive at the scene of the crash. Through their intense analysis of the video that was released, fans say that Heche was talking right after the crash, and well, if she was brain dead, how was she able to talk? Well, she was declared brain dead 5 days after the crash, so all that we can say right now is that let's not get carried away by conspiracy theories. They're tempting and they help us deal with the shock of such heavy news, but they're not necessarily true. It's best to refrain from reaching such conclusions and let friends and family of the actress mourn her death in peace. In other related news, first up, Demi Lovato's survivor's guilt about Mac Miller's death. Appearing in an interview on the Zayn Zane Lowe Show podcast, the singer opened up about how Mac Miller's death deeply impacted her. Before Mac Miller passed away due to an overdose, Lovato herself had gone through something painfully similar. In her case, she was able to survive and make it through, but then just a few days later, the news of Miller's passing was everywhere. The rapper died of an accidental drug overdose at 26. Hearing of Miller's tragic death made Lovato contemplate her own circumstances. In the interview, she admitted how much it affected her for days on end. She kept thinking how she was in the same position just a few days ago, and perhaps this wasn't how she should be living her life. Her survivor's guilt turned into inspiration for her latest song, Dead Friends, which was released last Friday. Next, Jonah Hill opens up about focusing on his mental health. A lot of celebrities have been taking time out for their mental health lately, and Jonah Hill is no exception. Opening up about his mental health in a letter that was published in the Hollywood entertainment magazine Deadline, the comedian wrote how he's decided not to make any public appearances for his latest film. The film's called Stutz, and it's a documentary centered around Hill's life and his experiences with his therapist. Hill wants to work on his anxiety, as he shared how all of his anxiety attacks are exacerbated by public appearances. It's hard work keeping up with the public image, so we're glad the actor's taking a break to prioritize his mental health. Because of his own first-hand experience with mental health issues, Hill decided to document those experiences so he could help others in similar situations. Even though the film's done and audiences await its release, Jonah himself won't be going for any promotional events because he feels now's the time to focus on himself. And finally, Claire Caldwell pays heartfelt tribute to the late Darius Campbell Dinesh. News of Campbell's passing came out on August 16th when his family released a statement confirming that the Scottish singer had been discovered unresponsive in his U.S. apartment. Campbell was involved in a pretty on-and-off relationship with the ex-beauty queen Claire Caldwell. On Mail Online, Caldwell opened up about how she was very happy in her 18-months-long relationship with Darius, and even after parting ways, the two had managed to stay great friends. The 53-year-old paid tribute to the singer through a series of photos she posted on her Instagram account, mourning Campbell's sudden and tragic passing. The caption read, "I'm sure, my love, you're singing to the angels. You are my angel, Darius, my love." We hope friends and family members of the singer find the patience to bear through this difficult time. That's a wrap for this video. Want to hear more about what's been up in Hollywood? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.